Piecewise functions are exactly what they sound like. They're pieces of different graphs. So here we're going to be graphing a piece of y equals 5, a piece of y equals negative 2, and a piece of y equals 3. Important things that we're going to be looking at. On the first one, we have an inequality with a less than or equal to, which means a filled-in circle. Second one, we have an inequality that would have an open circle to start and a closed circle to end. And then the last one is just an open circle. So those are things that you can kind of fill in at the beginning before you start tackling the graph. What we're going to do on the graph is we're going to make these different horizontal lines. Oh, use a pencil. 2, 3. Draw the horizontal line, y equals 5, the whole thing. Then I'm going to look at the inequality that I have, and it says when x is less than or equal to negative 2. So the nice thing about starting with horizontal lines is it kind of still looks like a number line. So here's negative 2 and positive 2. If I mark it on the graph here, there's our negative 2. That means I want to erase everything to the right of it because I really only want the less than or equal to piece. So I want a filled-in circle here, and I only want this piece. So I'm going to erase everything else. Try to get as close as I can without destroying that spot. So that's the piece of y equals 5 that we want graphed here. Then for negative 2, same thing. Graph y equals negative 2. Now if you realize what piece to graph, you don't have to do the whole thing. So what we really want here is we want to get rid of everything outside of these two values on either end. So we're going to erase the left side. I'm going to erase that too so I can, and then the right side. Now we want an open circle on negative 2. That's so it's still a function. And then we want a closed circle on 2. I'm going to do a quick vertical line test. Don't draw this because I'm going to just do it and erase it. If we do a vertical line test at that negative 2, it passes because one's an open circle and one's a closed circle. So it is still a function. Okay, we're going to do the same thing for y equals 3. Now on this one, I'm going to go up. I know where I'm starting now. So instead of drawing the whole thing, I'm going to start with an open circle at 2. And I'm going to draw my graph just going to the right to be that greater than 2. Again, that would pass the vertical line test. So good way to get your feet wet, just drawing the horizontal lines in. Now we're going to switch over and do your diagonal lines. Since that gets a little trickier, the drawing and erasing idea will be helpful. Okay, and then our breakdowns here are we're going between 2 and 4. These graphs are a little too big for this. I probably should have given you some smaller graphs. So between 2 and 4 is where we're making some of our changes here. And then after 4. So I am going to start off and graph. Let's rewrite these equations. The first equation is 1 over 1x minus 3. I'm putting it in a format so it's easy to figure out the slope. Negative 1 over 1x plus 1, sorry. And then y equals 4. So I'm going to graph the line starting at negative 3. Let's use a different color. And then I'm going to go up one and to the right one. A couple times that way, a couple times that way. And then we're looking, we want it to be x is less than or equal to 2. So here is where 2 is on the graph, which means I don't want, and let's say I even put more dots going up this way. I don't want any of those dots. I'm just going to connect the ones where it's less than or to the left of 2. So it's this piece going down to the left. Erase all the other dots. So if you haven't already connected them, that's a good thing. And I just erased my 2 reference points, but that's okay. Then we're going to do the same thing for the next one, but that's only supposed to be graphed between 2 and 4. So this first one did get that filled in circle. Now we're going to do an open and an open, and then we're going to do a filled in at the end. Okay, so we're going to start at 1, positive 1. We're going to go down 1 and to the right 1. Keep going. Again, I only want those to be between 2 and 4. Now what happens here, so I'm going to erase in this side here, I'm going to get rid of those 2. Technically, there really should be an open circle here, but there already is a filled-in circle, so it stays filled in, or a filled-in circle might fill it in for you. And then here's where 4 is happening. So we only want the graph to go right to there with another open circle. I'm going to erase all the other dots that are on there. And then our last graph is y equals 4. So again, if we were to graph the entire line, 1, 2, 3, 4, y equals 4, we only want a piece of it. We want the piece that's starting at 4, so starting here and going to the right to be greater than or equal to, and we can erase everything else. Now for horizontal lines, I don't think you'll need that erasing technique as much, maybe for the first one. Now here we do have a jump in the graph, so that's why we do have the closed circle up top and the open circle down below. But this one here is completely filled in because it started out filled in from the previous graph, so it would stay filled in. That way you can kind of see both ideas on this graph. And you'll see some varying ones when you get to the practice. And that's it. So you're graphing the different pieces over these sets of intervals here. Again, drawing the entire graph and erasing, I think, is going to be your best technique for really grasping this and understanding what to do with it.